Hello, hello, wildflowers. Welcome to the Empower Portal membership. Today you have landed in the 5th chakra of the Crystal Clear program. I'm celebrating you for being here, so let's dive in. So in the Crystal Clear program, my goal is to help you have crystal clear energy in all that you do in your life. So I've broken down each chakra in a way that's really applicable to your everyday life, because sometimes in the spiritual world, in the energy world, things get a little confusing, right? But I want you to be able to apply this right here, right now. So today we're diving into the throat chakra. So anatomically, the throat chakra is the neck, the throat. And energetically, it's our voice. So it's our manifestation power, it's our communication, it's how we serve the world, right, through our voice. And in my world, I like to call them power portals, because each of these power portals in our body has a power to help the external world be a certain thing for us. And I'm gonna get a little more into that. So the throat chakra is represented by the color sky blue. So if you ever want to work with that energy inside of you, you can imagine that. It is the voice, so it is, the affirmation for it is I speak. And within that chakra, there's a masculine expression and a feminine expression of what creates your reality. And I always want to remind you that masculine, feminine isn't man, woman specific. It is an energy that exists inside of all of us, both of them. So masculine energy tends to be a little more structured, a little bit more detailed, a little bit more inspired action-esque, foundational, really strong in a earth style way. Now, if you look at the feminine expression, feminine is a little bit more an ebb, a little bit more flow. The feminine resists structure. The feminine is a little more creative, a little messy. And the feminine meets the masculine. But a lot of times we're so in our masculine, right? We're so in our doing. We're so in our doing because society asks us to do, that sometimes we forget to tap into the feminine expression to bring it into the masculine, because together they go hand in hand, okay? So what you're gonna do is when you look at your life, you're gonna look at it like this. Anything that is fueling your power portal, so you're gonna fuel this power portal either in a positive vibration or more of a lower vibration, not good, bad. One's gonna just feel better for you. So if you're fueling your everyday life through tasks in your throat chakra that don't feel good for you, so for example, if you are having conversations where you're not being honest, or if you're not speaking your truth, or if you're avoiding confrontation, or you're not speaking what you're feeling out loud or claiming what you want out loud, you're gonna feel like shit. Like it just is what it is. Because if you're not speaking your truth, there's this feeling inside, right? Like, oh, should I have said that? Should I have not said that? There's all these doubts and confusions because we're not actually showing up in alignment with how we want to be. Okay, so it's all the doing, it's the communication, it's the hard conversations, it's serving the world. In my world, I call this power portal the portal of the queen. So it's your service to the world. So it's your job. Do you feel like you have power and voice in your job? Do you have power and voice in your relationships? Do you have an authority to your voice in your own personal energy, but also that of your communities? So that's masculine. So anything you do or don't do is going to fuel that. So for example, if you are feeling really crappy in your partnership and you really want to ask them to maybe clean the kitchen once a week, but you have a blockage in this power portal. This power portal has maybe been conditioned since childhood in a different way, so you keep it to yourself. So inside your body, what's gonna happen is you're gonna build up and build up and build up resentment because you're not having that conversation, and you're gonna give your power away to your partner and be like, I'm not happy because my partner's doing this, but in reality, your partner might not even know it pisses you off. So throat, when you speak it, then you figure it out. Right? So now if we're looking at the feminine expression, feminine is how you want to feel here. How do you want to feel within your voice? How do you want to feel within your power? How do you want to feel in your manifestation abilities? So we all manifest from the throat. You know, in the power portal, there's a whole human design hub. So if you want to go check out what your throat chakra is, if it's open or closed, go check that out, because it'll either be open or actually defined is a better word for that. And for example, my throat is defined and I'm here to speak a certain way all the time, whereas someone with it undefined has this ability to speak to all and kind of chameleon their voice. So these will be really great things for you to look up on. So when you're looking at the feminine, you're looking about how you want to feel in that voice, in that queendom, in your service to the world. Do you want to feel like you're being walked over at work? Do you want to feel like you're being walked over in your partnerships? Probably not. So what would an empowered woman look like for you in that center? And it's going to look different for me and her and her and her and my sister, my mom, my grandma. It's going to look really different. So ask yourself, this is where you'll start. You'll go in and be like, hey, who do I want to be here? Who do I want to be here? How do I want to feel in my voice? Do I feel good in my voice right now? Do I feel like I have platforms and places that I can share what I want to share? And go from there and create a really dreamy vision for yourself. So for example, when I started doing this work, I have a podcast, I'm here on video with you. This wasn't possible for me. But I had a vision that I wanted to share what I was teaching to the world. So I had to work through things with my throat chakra. I had to show up on Instagram for the first time on video. I had to show up on Instagram for the first time on a reel. I had to show up on Instagram for the first time places. There's first times. But to get there, you got to start to practice. So I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, and now here I am, right? You're sitting in front, I'm teaching you, there's someone behind a camera, I'm all good, and it works. It works because when you look at your power portal, you can imagine it like a spinning wheel. So the spinning light blue, sky blue wheel, spin, 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 spin. So imagine you can be riding a bike, your wheels are spinning, that's what you want. You want the chakra open, you want energy moving in and out, you want to be able to communicate, you want to be able to do all the things, then you get a flat tire. Then your tires go flat, your wheel stops spinning, and it closes. And for whatever reason, your throat's now closed. So there's something inside of you that's getting blocked that can't come out. So you want to work on it. It could be a confidence thing. Maybe you did a speech at school when you were 10 years old and the teacher told you it wasn't good. Maybe you were like, oh, now I can't talk. Like, it could come from any place and lot of life. So you want to really sit there and be like, okay, where am I not showing up the way I want to in my communication? Where am I showing up in my life in communication that I really love, and start to see what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And sometimes as women, we have this little thing inside of us that we don't like to ruffle feathers. We're like, oh, if I say that, we're gonna make them upset. Ooh, shit. Are we doing ourselves a service if we're not speaking our truth? No. So we gotta get a little more comfortable with ruffling a little bit of feathers, making people feel a little bit uncomfortable, if it means speaking our own truth. I don't mean going out of your own way to make someone feel like crap, but if you have to say something, say it and allow them to have feelings around it too, but still don't hold yourself back from speaking your truth. So having this foundation in your energy in the feminine expression, asking yourself these questions. Do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? What is your inner narrative like? Do you journal? How is your communication all around? And then you take this vision that you create for yourself, this higher quantum vision, this higher vision for yourself, this higher self situation. And then you go, okay, I see it, I feel it feels good, this is what I want. And then you look at it and you go, okay, now what tiny baby step action can I make? And then you transfer your feminine essence into masculine inspired action. And this is where the bridge happens and makes change in your life. So you're like, okay, I really want to have a conversation with my boss. I really, really don't like having a cubicle beside this person. It doesn't feel good. This. We need to find some sort of solution. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask to talk to her on Wednesday. I'm going to have a convo and we're just going to see what happens. Boom. Small, tiny action. And every time you take something from over here, a feeling, and make it into action, that muscle inside of you, that portal inside of you gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, so what you want to do is start doing that, start creating that piece. Now, if you are an entrepreneur or a budding entrepreneur, creative, all of that, I call this power portal the Queen power portal. I have an archetype for each power portal. And when you go into the Queen power portal, it's your service to the world. It's your service to the world. So if your throat chakra is closed before you start to share your stuff with the world, for example, my example earlier of, okay, I had a vision, I want to have a podcast, but I was too afraid to speak on the internet. So I obviously had to open my throat before sharing my gift, right? So if you are doing this and you're ready to do this, it's your throat, it's your queen, it's your service to the world. And you want it to be open and unapologetic so that you can make money, of course, right? What you can do to practice this, to start to open the throat anatomically. So anatomically, what I love to do, even for example, today, in the morning, in the shower, it's gonna sound weird if you've never done this before, because I felt weird when I started doing it, but massaging your throat to open it. Massaging your throat to open your throat, and even speaking before you go on. So for example, starting to talk out loud to yourself. Starting to talk out loud to yourself, starting to hear your own voice out loud in words. Sometimes I'll voice note myself things, just so you can start getting used to getting it out of your mouth. Because if you can't speak out loud not in front of people and like by yourself, odds are there's going to be a disconnect when you go online to speak because it's not coming from you. So you got to figure out what that voice looks like. So anatomically, you can do throat stuff, open up your shoulders, speak, make noises. A lot of women in specific, when it comes to the voice, it's stifled because we weren't allowed to speak the way we wanted to speak. We weren't allowed to express the way we wanted to express. We had to hide our feelings. We had to hide our emotions. So I would also, this is going to sound weird too, recommend making different noises because there's these energies inside of us that don't get to express. For example, anger. So if anger for me, partway through my life, I figured out I wasn't expressing it. It was getting caught inside and it wanted to be expressed. So I went to lots of healers, lots of people to figure out how to do this in a safe space so that I could feel supported. And a lot of the work had to do with actually expressing. So like growling, like making noise, getting primal so that more of you as a woman can be expressed. So it's not all caged. Your wildness that's been caged isn't all caged. So start to bring it out and be weird. And I get my clients to do this and they like laugh at me and giggle, but then they go, holy shit, it works. I'm like, I know. Because there's all of this in you that wants to come out, but it doesn't know how. So you have to start playing with it. Energetically, it's having the conversations. It's standing up and speaking differently. Emotionally, it's communication. It's your communication. Like, do you feel supported in communication? We're going to dive in now to a little visualization for the throat. I want you to be able to tap into this energy inside of you. I want every single woman in the world to be able to do this. So let's sit up comfortably tall wherever you are. Wherever you are, you can close down your eyes and just drop your palms to the lap. Shoulders can come down your back. Lift up your chin and your chest is proud. And then what I want you to do, this one's going to be a little bit different from the earth chakras, the sacral, the solar, and the root. I want you to rub your hands up and down. So our hands are connected to our heart. And women, we like to speak from our heart. We really do. And sometimes when we speak from our heart, we make people choose something, whether it is to agree with us or to not agree with us. So what I want you to do is tap into your heart space here, whatever your heart wants to say, feel. And I want you to actually put your left hand on your throat and your right hand on top, just really gently. And if for whatever reason that's an activation in a negative way for you, a trigger, you can just hold your hands away from the throat flat so it doesn't look like there's a grab of the throat, okay? So you can just hold it like this, like I'm doing. But if you can hold it really gently and you feel safe, go ahead. So as you're feeling your throat, I just want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. And notice what it feels like to even hold your throat. Does something come up for you? Good, bad? There's no right or wrong or good or bad, but feeling higher vibration, lower vibration. And as you breathe here, I want your hand, underneath the hand, the throat, to start to glow a bright blue, the bright color of the sky. I want you to breathe into that color blue. And I want you to imagine that color blue turning into a waterfall down the throat. And the waterfall is going to start at the crown of your head. And that light blue color is going to wash through the top of the head where your baby soft spot was. Move through the mind, clear the mind, and wash all the way down the throat. I want you to imagine that waterfall moving down, releasing anything that might be blocking this pathway, this portal for you. If you want to take your right hand to the back of the throat now, you can. Generally speaking, in the chakra world, the front of the chakra, example, the front of the throat is this lifetime, and the back of the throat is past lifetimes, if you are into that energy space. And just hold it all. Hold all of your power gently and softly here, giving it permission to be felt. I know it might feel awkward. Stay with me here. We got to break through the awkward to feel a little bit more ourselves, right? And then when you feel ready, keep the left hand where it is. Bring your right hand to your heart. If you can go on your bare skin, go ahead. And then I want you to repeat either to yourself in your mind, but even better out loud. When I speak from my heart, I am in my power. When I speak from my heart, I am in my power. And then maybe one more time. When I speak from my heart, I am in my power. And then 3 times with one more. It is safe to speak my authentic truth. It is safe to speak my authentic truth. One more time on your own. Take a big breath in. And big breath out. If it's feeling good here to stay, absolutely go ahead. Keep feeling into that. Maybe things are coming up for you. Do so with kindness. If you're ready to come back to the space, really gently remove your hands from these power portals. You can start to open up your eyes, come back to the space. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Be gentle and kind with yourself as you start to practice these things, and remember baby steps in inspired action. So much love. I hope you have the best day. The light in me sees the light in you. See you soon.